What if I told you that some of the best strikers in the world wear goalie gloves? From match-winning goals to incredible stunners, these are the 10 times goalkeepers have scored goals. And first up, Alisson Becker came clutch to rescue his team's season. Liverpool versus West Brom in the Premier League, and there was a lot riding on this one. See, at the time, Liverpool was trying to rescue their season because they'd been horrible for large parts. Yet somehow, they were in the final stages of their campaign and had a shout at the Champions League, but knew they had to win all their games from this point on, else they'd miss out on the top 4. So when the clock hit 90 minutes and the score was 1-1, Liverpool went all out, but just couldn't find the goal they needed to win the game. The ref was about to hit the whistle for full time when they got one last chance. Because of how desperate the situation was, Liverpool's goalie Alisson came up for this one. And you won't believe what happened next. Insane stuff! The scenes that day were incredible, man. Alisson scored the winner for his team. Amazing stuff. Starting to feel like it's a Merseyside trend, because over at Everton, their goalie was popping top bins from miles out. In 2012, Tim Howard was Everton's first-choice goalie when they faced Bolton in the Premier League. And you'd probably forgive most people for thinking this one would have been a normal afternoon in the league. Well, that was until Tim Howard decided he'd take the roof off Goodison Park by dropping one of the craziest goals you'll ever see. Okay, I know the wind played a part in this one, but it was still crazy. 95 yards! Howard's stunner reminds me of the time Asmir Begovic dropped the remix of this one months later. Get this, Stoke City versus Southampton in a league game, and Asmir was in goal for his Stoke City team. Now, Stoke City Stadium is one of the most insane grounds in English football. The wind there is something else. The Stoke players know that, and even the goalie Begovic too. Unfortunately, it kinda seems like the Southampton team didn't know just how strong the wind could actually be, and Begovic was about to show them firsthand. Look at that bounce right before the ball hits the back of the net, like Begovic hit a glitch or something. That goal was scored from a whopping 101.5 yards, man, and stood as the longest goal in football history by a goalkeeper for 6 years. Amazing stuff. No offense to Begovic though, but he wasn't scoring clutch in Europe's biggest competition, like my man Ivan Provedel. Lazio versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League group stage. And coming into the 90th minute of this one, there was drama. Lazio still had hopes of qualifying out of the group, but it was all depending on if they got a result against Atleti. And yeah, they were losing 1-0. Some fans had already given up hope and had even started leaving the pitch, but still, the players believed. They kept pushing on. So when the team got a corner in the dying seconds of the match, the Lazio goalie, Ivan Provedel, decided to risk it all by joining his team in attack. And let's just say, this one paid off spectacularly. Now that's how you go clutch. Even Provedel couldn't believe it. He just rescued a point for his team in the most dramatic way possible and turned himself into a hero. Now, I'm just saying, man, Provedel's a hero at Lazio, but Rogerio Ceni, he's a legend of the game. So here's the deal with this guy. Back in his playing days, he used to bang bucket loads of goals as a goalie. See, Ceni remains to date the goalkeeper with the most official goals in football history, scoring over 100 goals for Sao Paulo in his active career. And his catalog is impressive, man. I'm talking headers and long-range golazos, but nothing quite beats this dead ball from miles out. Bend it like Beckham? Scratch that. Curve it like Ceni. It's like he knew where he was going to place the ball and scored. Amazing. Just like Ceni, there was another OG goalie back in the day who loved scoring goals, and this one even did it in the Champions League. Vincent Anyama is one of the greatest goalkeepers to ever come out of the African continent. Facts. Apart from being a regular for his country, Enyama made waves playing in the Champions League for teams like Lille and Hapoel Tel Aviv. And it was while he was playing for Hapoel that he made history by becoming the first African goalie to score in the competition, and he did it with the pressure on too. Hapoel got a penalty against Salzburg in the Champions League qualifying round, and you'd probably be expecting any of the team's strikers or even midfielders to take it. But instead, Enyama was confident in his ability. So he placed the ball on the spot, and the home Salzburg crowd began to boo him. Still, he didn't let any of the crowd's antics enter his head, and once he heard the ref's whistle to take the kick, my man placed it to perfection. Even two goalies aren't saving that. A goalie taking pens will never not be amazing, man. Just like the time Stola Dmitrievski banged one from 12 yards. Only thing is, he did it against one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Atletico Madrid versus Eibar in 2021, and as expected, Eibar were the underdogs. See, Atleti had been mounting a title charge all season, so coming into this one, Eibar was expected to be whipping dogs in the match. And as soon as the ref hit the whistle to start the game, it was supposed to be business as usual, until Eibar surprised everyone by winning a penalty. Still, this wasn't a guaranteed goal, because Atleti had Jan Oblak in goal. And the guy's like Superman, he can save almost anything. Knowing this, Eibar decided to pull off a huge shock. I mean, why have a player go up against a goalie when they can even the score and play fair instead? Goalie versus goalie face-off, and Dmitrievski won. He absolutely smashed that into the bottom left corner. The balls on this guy. It's almost like he was a Kasper Schmeichel regen. The year was 2001, and the Xbox was better than PlayStation. Just kidding, man. Aston Villa was facing Everton in the Premier League, and Peter Schmeichel was about to make history. See, his Aston Villa team was losing 3-0 to Everton, and they didn't want to end the game without giving their fans something to shout about. So deep into stoppage time, Villa won a corner. Goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel went up to attack it and made history. Even though it didn't count for much at the time, Schmeichel's goal had made him become the first goalkeeper to score in Premier League history. My man scored in a 3-1 defeat, so I can understand why he didn't celebrate. But when Alberto Brignoli scored a historic goal for his team, he couldn't contain it. Coming into their match against AC Milan, Benevento was on a 14-match losing streak, and everyone was expecting Milan to add one more to make it 15. And with seconds left to the end of the match, it looked like it. Milan had a nervy 2-1 lead, but in this one, Benevento knew they were in with a chance, so they kept the pressure on, even late in the game, and managed to force a corner. The last kick of the game, and because of how important it was, Benevento's goalie, Alberto Brignoli, went up. What happened next? It'll blow your mind. Imagine snapping a 14-game losing run like this against Milan of all teams. What a result. Still, Brignoli's goal has to come in second place, man. Cause at number 1, this goalie scored a goal so crazy, it got nominated for a Puskás Award. Picture this. Playing for a lower team, and they were trailing against one of the toughest teams in the league, with 5 minutes added on. That was FC Barroca and Oscarine Masaluque's reality. Deep into stoppage time, they won a corner. Everyone went up for it, even the goalie Masaluque. Now, I could just tell you that he scored and rescued a point for his team, but that won't even explain the half of it, because the goal itself was out of this world. Alright, so you're telling me he's a goalie, 6'4", scores a clutch bicycle kick, and rescues a point for his team? Damn. Masaluque's moment was so impressive, FIFA had his goal nominated for the Puskás Award, and he finished as runner-up. I bet the only reason he didn't win was because he hadn't hit the subscribe button to our channel yet.